why can't you believe, but how can you logically not believe that this incredible universe of infinite design, we don't even know how grand the scale is. Why is it you can't attribute that to a God? Why?
At this point in my life, I know enough about how things come to be, how the universe grows itself, how evolution works, and the complexity argument or the complexity intuition that things can't be complex without something having put it together kind of goes away. It's just like it's like once you kind of learn like how a telephone is made, which most of us and me still don't know how that happens, but once you do learn that, if that's accessible to you, then you stop going with the "ooh, I wonder how this came to be" kind of a thing. I can answer questions, more specific questions along that road if you want, but that's kind of the core of it.
Okay, do you believe in the Big Bang?
Yes, we know the Big Bang happened. Yes.
What was before the Big Bang?
That we don't know.
So why can't that be God?
It could be.
Oh, wow, you're the first atheist to say it could be.
Well, it's the honest answer. I mean, the thing is, there's a difference between it could be and I believe it probably is. Because just like, let's just take one of the physics theories, okay? Just one. We don't have to talk about all of them. Let's just say multiverse. Make it simple. Multiverse is a hypothesis. We don't have enough information to know it's the correct one. So it's an unknown, and it just sits there until more information, if ever, comes along. The God hypothesis also sits there as a valid hypothesis. But the question to me is, why do people elevate it when it's not justified to be elevated? So to me, it sits there with all those other possibilities in a don't know. That's the 2024.
And you don't think there's a positive spin-off to believing in God and giving thanks to God?
Well, believing in it and it being true is a different thing. Because there may be positive benefits, and I would say there probably are some positive benefits for some people to believe, even if it's not true. Some people find great comfort in it. You know, if I do ask in atheist booths with people sometimes in public, and older people will come up to us sometimes, and sometimes there's this one woman who's sort of a low IQ person, so you want to be kind right off, right?
Okay.
And she's a very strong believer, and I don't want to make her feel bad, you know. And right. she tries to tell me. I mean, not usually with people like that, I will ask them, why do you believe, and just try to understand them. And sometimes they can explain well, and sometimes they can't. And it's fine. We all have our different levels of ability, but
I think what it comes down to is that the majority of people have a need to feel that there's a reason why we exist. And there's a reason why the world is in such chaos.
I kind of agree, but I think that's, I've come to believe that that's more culturally based. The why question. The problem I have with the why question is we don't know if there's a why. Before you can say why is this, you have to ask, is there a positive or negative answer to the why? Is there a why? And you first have to determine that, yes, there is a why, because if the why is no, if there's no reason for it, then there's no point in going on to asking why is it, because we know it isn't, right?
Okay, sir, what keeps the planet turning? Every night I go to bed and I wake up and it's a new day. What's causing that?
That is something called angular momentum, which is
is it just a coincidence?
No,
it's just an accident.
I'll explain. I need my little pumpkin. So give me a second.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Basic Newtonian physics. One of them is angular momentum. If this thing is just sitting out, imagine this thing just sitting out in space all by itself, not near a planet or a sun or anything, just sitting out in space. If it's got a little bit of a spin, it will just keep spinning forever. That spin is called angular momentum. It means it's moving at a certain angle, like the curve is going around, and it has momentum. Just like if something's going in a straight line, it has momentum. It'll just keep going in a straight line forever. Angular momentum.
But what caused it to start turning?
Something hit it earlier and caused it to turn.
So every planet's spin is based on something hitting it?
Yeah, when things are coming together at the I need 2 pumpkins, but I only have 1. I use my pumpkin and my tape now. When things come together before, I'll just use my fists. When things are coming together at the beginning of the solar system coming together, we're coming together from a dust cloud. And so we're starting by atoms coming together. If 2 atoms come toward each other and hit, it's almost impossible for them to hit straight on, right? Because they're so tiny, right? So you get a little bit of this kind of thing where they sort of bounce off at an angle. And if they are close enough, they'll capture each other and bond. And now you've got a little bit of angular momentum, and they will start spinning this way, and they will just keep going and never stop. But now the next thing that hits them, so here's the 2 now, the next thing that comes along, if these things are spinning like this, and this thing comes along and hits it a different way, it's going to turn that spin into a different direction. Now it's going to keep going that way until someone, they get bigger and bigger and bigger. So every solar system spins because of that. Every galaxy spins. Every planet spins.